Here, I hit the stream button, so it's going. I don't know if it's going to go just to D Live and or YouTube, one or the other, or both. It's supposed to go to D Live and YouTube.
Live.
It's also going to record though, so it is recording. So if fucking something happens, I'll have this on the hard drive.
Or drive.
But basically, I'm streaming because I want to test some stuff out. Also, because some funny things happened. Um,
Hilarious.
and I wanted to play some Warframe, but in fact, well, here's the launcher. The launcher's working. That's good. That's good. But actually, let me turn that off for now. I'm not sure. In fact, let me check my volume. So just doing some test stuff today. Yeah, microphone's still at 100. I'm not sure if my microphone's really loud enough for my tastes. It seems
I don't know.
quieter.
I don't know.
Your audio is definitely louder than mine, I noticed, but I don't think it's because of settings. I'm not sure. Um, basically, the stuff we're not, again, as we point out a million times, we're not here to cover things. We're not journalists. But yesterday, we were the first people to do a video. Okay, you know what? All right, hey, that's working. The text is
What?
a little big. It's hard to find. The text overlay for Restream chat is showing up. Uh, Etsy boys rise up and luster. I may have made the text too big, I guess. But it's showing me text from DLive and YouTube simultaneously. So
That is cool.
that's fine then.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, so I made it a little too big. I can size that down though. I think I made it 250%. I could just make it 200 or 175 or something. I
Hmm.
wanted to see how readable it would be on the
Always a
overlay
test
thingy.
stream. Always experimenting here.
Yeah,
But
we're
also,
fucking
we don't stream enough
Yeah,
because
I set up Restream today, and it was easy because there's only like two sites I really needed to restream. There's like 20 other sites that I've never heard of, like Biri, or whatever the fuck.
Biri Biri,
Do lose my
Afriku,
number.
Afrikua,
Yeah, or as
um,
Africa was one of them. There's Picarto and Stream, or Steam, which were the only others I recognized. But it's like I don't want to fucking. I don't have a. Well, I do have a Picarto account, but I'm not going to stream to that. Looks good on mobile. Yeah, the that's why I made it so big. I wanted to be readable on any shitty screen technically, but I don't know. The thing is that when it's also that big, it's like one message can force all the other messages off, and we don't have any moderation. So, and we tell people that up front, don't expect any moderation or anything.
I
But
know there's people out there who are like, oh, there's no moderation.
like that's their opportunity. Finally, our opportunity. Anyways, what happened specific? Oh yeah, fucking. It was something stupid with Mecca today. Who I in fact
No,
there's
this was one of the most hilarious things fucking ever.
ever, but yeah, Mecca was replying to I think Roe on Twitter saying while CG burns to the ground or while CG burns to the ground, war campaign is standing by their principles. Which
It's a
no,
completely
no.
non-statement. It's
Here
not.
actually,
It makes. It's basically he might as well not have said anything. In fact, it would have been better if he had not said anything because by saying something, he makes himself look very fucking stupid.
nice. He has a Star of David emoji in his Twitter name now, also, which I think
Should we be
represents
surprised?
the Northern Star. That's pretty cool.
Represents the Northern Star and maybe also a form of predatory lending.
Do you like reverse mortgages as much as I do? Anyways, um, so he says, Mecca says, while CG burns to the ground, war campaign is standing by their principles. First of all, lol. But second of
First of
all,
all, you're going to have to explain what their principles are if
yeah.
they don't involve doxing gay ops and basically being the biggest crybabies in the
Well,
universe.
that will lead us to a little analysis that I won't go too deep into. But here, the rest of his tweet says only people regularly calling out the bullshit coming from the exalted ones on the YouTube circuit. I guess that's what he's saying, that War Campaign is doing, is they're the only people calling out to the bullshit from the exalted ones on the YouTube circuit, which they're on D Live exclusively too, or some shit. So it's like, who gives a fuck? But I thought it was funny. I
Well,
thought it
he's
was
definitely wrong.
curious.
He's definitely dead wrong there. It sounds like he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Dead wrong, dead motherfuckers.
Dead and the word.
Um,
Dead honky.
dead honky. Fucking. What was that in response to when he said dead honky? What did the other guy say first? Something.
I don't know.
This
I
is.
don't know.
Well, I do, but we're on YouTube, so never.
Heh.
Plus, when we stream, our streams are not going to go behind a paywall.
YouTube,
One thing,
we just want
right up front, though, the first thing we need to
amazing
mention
how much
is that
technology
our
YouTube
fucking
put into fucking
YouTube videos from
creating
now
an
on are going
AI
behind a paywall.
that can
That's the
just
first thing we
so
need to
that
mention.
YouTube can fucking get an algorithm that can detect the N-word,
Finally,
and that's all it does.
that's
the only
finest.
thing.
Finally, the advancements of artificial intelligence have brought us to this level. It's high time, isn't it?
Just like the movie Ex Machina.
Yes. Anyways, the thing we need to really open with is that if you want to watch our videos, you have to go to our Patreon and donate $5 minimum now. Any videos at all. We're not putting videos behind a $1 paywall, and we don't want to do this. We never wanted to do this, and we still don't. You
could safely say we're not even doing this.
Yeah, we're not doing it. Other people are doing it.
It's being done to us and to you. And you people could have stopped this. You decided not to, so now you pay.
But the people who are donating to us are at least doing something about it. So yeah. But another thing is, the reason why we are able to do more streams, we can do more streams now, is because people are actually donating more money to us on Patreon. So to our actual cool backers, I want to give big ups. Even some of the fucking people who are just paying to spy on us, or A-log or whatever.
That's specifically who this tax is made for.
Yeah, it's well, the tax is to keep those people out, but to also let the cool people in. So if you want to be part of the cool kids club,
we already know it won't keep them out. It'll just make them have to pay more to fucking watch our videos.
Which, in that case, also lol. So as far as the Mecha McCheese, I asked somebody, I showed them the screenshot of Mecha saying this. Someone in particular. I said,
somebody who has a vested interest. Very vested interest.
But, for a specific good reason, I sent a screenshot of Mecha saying this about how War Campaign is standing by their principles. And I said, is that true about War Campaign standing by their principles? A lot of them have me blocked, including Mecha, which is true right now. And this person says, I've seen them using those words for over a month now. I think that they've been watching my values on parade, and ours too, I think, is kind of the point. And they've been, basically his point is that they've been repeating a lot of the words. I think that they know they didn't have a leg to stand on going against EVS. Their position can't be, yes, we lied and manipulated, and that's why EVS is wrong to lie and manipulate. So they have to find a principle to go after with Comicsgate, and it's been there all along, and the values do not change. I think they might be respecting those values, but they also could just be aping them to pretend to have a foundation to attack EVS from. I noticed they really started heading this direction when Vestige 2 underperformed so much. They have to come up with something, so why not say it's because they're taking such a high road? And I pointed out, and that's why I also said this, and thinking of just titling the video this, is that Comicsgate and War Campaign is like a cargo cult, but for principles, where they think if they just say the word principles enough, they'll suddenly have principles. And this guy says, They have no idea what the word means. They barely even know what business means. And then he asked me. I replied by saying they don't know what the definition of is. And he said, "Do you think Comicsgate is collapsing? It seems like EVS is having a harder time controlling the narrative." And I said, and basically, it's funny. I told you that this guy said this, and your response was pretty much the same as mine to him. Is that I don't think Comicsgate even exists anymore. It's a fugazi. It's pixie dust.
It's an especially a fugazi.
Yes, but it's
More than
the
a
illusion
fugazi.
of an existence. There is no Comicsgate, but there's a lot of work being put into creating the illusion that Comicsgate exists, which is gay and retarded. But also, it's typical of comic book nerds is that they will spend all their time to create the image of something that just doesn't even happen, doesn't exist, it's not real, it doesn't matter, none of this matters. That kind
I
of
mean,
thing.
specifically, it's a lie.
But also, it's a little ironic or something that that the inevitably doomed is only even more pertinent now because of
It's really old content, but it's like getting more and more relevant, more and more timely
yeah, it was
than
written
ever
about.
before.
Basically, it's a comic. It's sort of a metaphorical, like an allegory about the collapse of a hug box, which Comicsgate objectively is. We've proven that objectively and scientifically a long time ago, years ago. And in fact, the story was written in early 2019, but it was way too early for people. People were not even close to catching up with us on that one. So when it comes to that whole question. Oh, DA talks. Hey, DA, if you want to come in the voice chat and fucking. So that I don't have to read any things that happened, I can just go fucking play Warframe. Because that's really all I wanted to do in the first place. But, like, share, comment, subscribe. The other thing was, it's practically old news for us. It's old news that Richard surrendered the case. But what's happening now is now Comicsgate has to like rationalize and cope. We're seeing Comicsgate, especially Ethan Van Sciver, go into such cope overdrive that he has no fucking clue what's going on. And he's actually saying that's a lie. He said that Richard, and again, as we pointed out, Richard posted this himself to his own Patreon, and Ethan's response was, "That's a lie."
Oh, I'll go, I'll go.
Okay. I'll go,
I
I'll
will.
go, I'll go, I'll go, I'll go, I'll go.
This one's gonna have a spy mission in the middle of it. Don't worry
Oh,
about that shit.
well, alright.
Try and stay undetected when it comes up. But
Investigate
if we
these
get
things.
detected, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, Utico. That's Utico, and it's just showing the chest
Yeah,
plate
it's
and
just
not
showing the chest plate.
the face
It's
and the
been like
chest.
that for a while too. It's
Yeah.
been like that for a few
Sounds
patches.
like it's
now.
just been bugging out then or something goofy. Anyways, yeah, take two on the
Okay, you
front.
just cut out.
It did.
You're out.
I hear you.
Okay, you just came back.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm fucking not having too many problems. I don't know if it's just a. And these places have always been really laggy. The Venus outdoors area, and there could be all sorts of bugs with Warframe
Yep.
currently. So
Yep.
that's what happened last time. Is
There is.
what I tried to do was launch Warframe, and then it gave me like a memory leak error, which it's fucking. It did that when I tried to play Apex Legends today. So again, I'm doing a bunch of test stuff. The chat window is not.
We got to
on
work
now.
10 times harder than anyone else in this entire
Yeah, but,
fucking
well, especially
game.
because they did
Anyone
something.
else in the stream game.
OBS did something really goofy where they don't have like browser embedding anymore. You can't embed a URL, so it's just trying to do it automatically, and it's worse now. So I think OBS fucked itself up. Oh, some people joined.
And all of you people fucked yourselves.
But also, it's like it's supposed to. OBS is supposed to be able to open like just a browser key, and instead it doesn't do anything. That's what it does now. Instead, is nothing. Wait, can I actually get to my necromancer? Oh yeah, that's right. I can. I
Yeah, I kind of don't want to because I'm trying to level up some of my other
Well, I need
guns.
to re-level mine now, and I don't have anything else to level up, so
Mm.
actually this should be okay. Anyways, what we were talking about was Comicsgate failure to cope after last night's Richard backed out of his lawsuit, and people are so baffled that to this day, right now, people in Comicsgate have no idea what just happened. In fact, some people,
They're
or
punch drunk idiots.
Ronnie Garcia super chatted to Mersh last night about this, and
Oh.
Ronnie Garcia knows that Mersh doesn't really know anything about this, but it might break the news to people who are slightly familiar or something with some of this goofy shit. And
It's good to break the news. This is news.
the immediate,
It's not surprising news, but it's news.
yeah, well, it's not surprising if you're in the know. The thing is that Mersh's first suspicion was that it was good news. That fucking, of course, Richard C. Meyer must have been the SJW, and Mark Waid is the. He said, "Is Mark Waid? He was the based guy, right? He's the guy who's supposed to be kind of based."
There you go. That's what you get, Comicsgate. That's your fucking ground state for Comicsgate.
Yeah, is that
clearly Comicsgate's the bad guys?
that's how people outside see it. But the thing is, people also don't want to really know. They don't want to understand. People outside Comicsgate just want to generally see. They want to generally think of it as something good's going to happen instead of no, Comicsgate
the worst
backed off
cancer,
again.
the worst cancer filled with piss and cancer, the cancer of the piss of the cancer
Of AIDS. Did I pick this up already? There's a toroid. No, I did not. I better get it.
You did not.
But anyways, yeah. So that was the immediate implication and suspicion and all that kind of shit last night was somebody backed off of the lawsuit. Must have been a big win for Comicsgate. No. That's the thing. Comicsgate can't achieve anything. And that was another thing is that.
That's how little you matter, Comicsgate.
But also, it's because part of the reason why people would suspect that immediately is because Nick Rekieta supported the lawsuit. And people assume that Nick Rekieta is a Christian, so he wouldn't just be somebody who would promote doing something wrong or incorrect or stupid or ill-advised or anything.
Christians never do anything wrong.
Yeah, the thing is that
which is exactly what I would expect to hear from a communist.
What people have woken up to the fact is that he has no clue what he's doing. He's completely out of his element. He gives terrible advice. The advice he has given so far has led to fucking the loss of what somebody put in
He's 2
the
for
comments as a
2,
small
or
fortune.
rather, he's 0 for 2 in Comicsgate legal victories.
And I mentioned to that.
Lasagna.
I actually mentioned to that in DMs, just fucking like joking at his expense, and he got really fucking pissed off. And of course, had to tweet about it because it's so easy to get under his skin that anytime you even make fun of him a little bit, he's got to fucking cope about it. But
played him like a fiddle.
I tweeted it to I DM'd it to Nick Rekieta, the person posting about how Richard C. Meyer just posted this to his Patreon about how he backed off the lawsuit and they were fucking pissed off about that and shit. The stuff we showed on yesterday's stream. And so I just DM'd that tweet to Nick Rekieta with no comment. But again, it's Rekieta, 0 for 2 again. That's another case he's lost. Vic might be in even bigger trouble. He's basically destroyed Vic's career and potential livelihood. And that's where it's gearing up to go towards right now. Everyone's realizing that Rekieta has never given any good advice so far about anything. He's setting people up for complete destruction.
I mean, we also knew this before they did.
Yeah.
Once again, we're the first to the fucking party.
And without being experts or anything, it's just no, all we are is unbiased. We're unbiased in other ways that people can't even fucking comprehend. They think of Richard as being unbiased. They're like, Richard, the reason why Richard supported Mark Waid is because he's just unbiased. But that's not true. He's stupid, is what it is. And he wasn't unbiased. Mark Waid's comics aren't good. But Richard said they're good because he wants to create. It's like virtue signaling, where he wants to create the false illusion of being unbiased when he actually is. just wrong and stupid.
Something really stupid to lie about, too.
But also, even if you were unbiased, if you were legitimately unbiased, which he's not, but if you were, don't support the guy you're suing. Don't go around saying, hey, I'm so unbiased that this person I'm suing, you should just give him money anyways. That's not unbiased, that is objectively stupid.
You're unbiased. How about you stop fucking reviewing the guy's comics altogether?
Just don't talk about... You shouldn't be talking about them. You're suing the guy. That seems a little obvious, doesn't it? But when it comes to Comicsgate, it's all about creating the false illusion. It's not about what is. And that's what we were talking about, is that the whole idea, the laughable idea of what stupid Mecha, who's a fucking retard, by the way. There's no way around that. There's no unsquaring that circle. Is that Mecha was saying that War Campaign has principles and that they were just sticking to their principles. What principles? And then nobody answers. Whenever we make an argument, nobody has an answer. Every argument we've ever made has stood completely unrefuted, and nobody even argues against it. The most anyone's done is gone, okay, that's it. Or ad hominem doesn't even rise to that level, so that's, it's not even that.
Yeah, I'm not impressed. Color me unimpressed.
Yes, but is there something worse than unimpressed? Because that's also what I am. I'm superior, smug, and satisfied in the modern world. But what happened was that Ethan was taking Richard's response and saying, no, that's a lie. That's a lie by Mark Waid's lawyer. He was actually saying that Richard backing off the lawsuit, which Richard posted publicly about, was a lie by Mark Waid's lawyer, even though it came from Richard's Patreon. So
I can only imagine that he doesn't know that this happened, and so he's just instinctually lying.
Yes.
His knee-jerk reaction is to just start spreading lies.
Yeah, and then he doubled down on it. But what also happened is that it was like a termination without termination with extreme prejudice and pork chops or whatever. And I don't have it in front of me. If somebody wants to cover this, anyone's free to, and nobody is. Well, yet again, we're the first people to talk about it, and then we're going to be the only people to talk about it. Maybe until, next Sunday, when Vicky and DA might talk about it. Which, I would look forward to. That's good, but no one in Comicsgate's going to cover this correctly. And if they do, we've seen some of the Comicsgate and Richard supporters who covered this correctly on Twitter, and they're like, you know what? I'm fucking pulling my support from his Patreon, and I'm unsubscribing from his channel. They're fucking done with him. And apparently that's the only way to cover it correctly, is to be done with him, which is biased, but it's also right. It's objectively correct. So what do you think about that when it comes to bias? What does that speak about the concept of bias? Is when biased people are the ones who are correct. And we're not biased either, by the way. We've never had a bias, and in fact, people smarter than everyone in Comicsgate combined, who are also comics creators and superior comics creators to everyone else in Comicsgate combined as well, have agreed that we're right about us being unbiased. So that's not... I only bring that up because it proves that it's not our opinion.
If there is a bias that I have, it's towards not wanting to be lied to and not letting people steal money from the movement.
Yeah. Which, again...
A movement I am not part of.
It was a small fortune that got flushed down the fucking toilet by not only the people who donated to Vic's legal fund, but Richard C. Meyer's legal fund as well. All that money went right into the garbage. It was a complete waste. We knew it would be. But we also even still supported Richard's case at the beginning. We're like, yeah, Mark should be sued. There should be no person in it, no social, no political person, no human being alive should be able to have any say over what any other person ever makes. The thing is, that includes Richard. Richard should have no say. Oh, was I not streaming the fucking video? I need to. But Richard should have absolutely no say over what other comics people can make, and he has tried to. A lot of people in Comicsgate don't want to admit that, but it's
Not only
objectively
that, but
true.
then he's also threatening to sue people for noticing huge glaring errors and mistakes
Yes.
in the supposed
Or just open
collector's
negligence.
items.
Like we it's pretty obvious. We know it's pretty fucking obvious to the entire world who is honest. But we know most of all is that Ethan scammed his backers objectively. That's not our opinion. That's not our observation. It is. It is what it is. If you don't want to admit it, that just means you're a weak,
A
inferior
lot of
person.
these people can't even fucking come up with an argument against that.
Yeah.
So they just start spewing idiocy.
Or it's mostly ad hominems when it comes to Comicsgate. It's basically ad hominem after ad hominem and zero arguments. We have never seen a single person in Comicsgate ever bring an argument to
When
us
an
about
adult
anything.
actually responds to your evidence with "No, you know that they not only don't have an argument for that, but they don't have an argument for anything that they will ever say.
Yeah, the entire point is everything we've ever said about Comicsgate to this day stands unrefuted by everyone, including
Most of the time it's just
Ethan Van
silent.
Sciver actually ran away from several fucking arguments in many, many opportunities in many cases. He was invited to fight, and you see how it goes. The thing is, you see how it goes when he tries to fight. Like when he showed up with Vicky, he lost his shit. And there's a lot of people in Comicsgate try to go into denial about that, but there's no way around that. He absolutely embarrassed himself, and he went into hiding and refuses to go back on other people's streams because of that.
That's the only smart choice he's ever made.
Yes,
And it was
but
because
after
of
making a
stupid,
catastrophic mistake,
to begin with.
he shouldn't have done that, really. But we're glad he did, and again, it's this. All this is basically like a big Christmas gift to us. Is that everything we said is true is being proven true? There's just no way around that. Is that my fucking
In a way that we can be smugly self-satisfied
Yes.
about. That's going to hurt people.
Tis the
It's going
season to be
hurt
smug.
them. It's going to hurt these people in the long run.
Whoa.
And have a good long laugh at their expense.
Which is nice. But
And
anyways,
as we've already warned them, we are not going to be gracious in victory after the way these fucking jagoffs acted for such a long time.
well, legitimate criminal psychopaths, grifting
fucking-
frauds and thieves who
They're
rip off
fucking
their own
doing
customers. And this is
themselves.
just another example. Is that this is Comicsgate having ripped off its own customers by making them pay legal fees for a losing case, which was always going to be a losing case. Richard didn't want to
It wasn't
admit it,
bad
but
enough that
he
they
was
just
surrounded
took a
by
losing
people
case.
telling him it was a winning case, and when it wasn't.
It's bad enough that they took a losing case, but they also took all your people's money. All
Well,
these fucking people donated
To be honest, I'm glad for that. I'm glad that Comicsgate lost a bunch of its money and just got flushed down the toilet. It's better than they deserve. They deserve to be like fucking in fatal car accidents or like a horrific war criminal fucking situations where like people just raid their house and machine gun them to death or something like that. Because of their morality makes them deserving of stuff like rape or fucking
the timid, lying
like
morality.
like mass executions and shit. Because their morality is actually objectively worse than that. But in a way that they can't comprehend. They'll be like, "No, we didn't do anything wrong," but it's like you fucking
do anything wrong.
you criminalized other people's behavior just for disagreeing. So there's not really much of an argument there. What is this? What am I doing? Oh, did I hack this automatically without even breaching the alarm? I don't know how I did this, but there's
They are
Garuda
finally
systems.
Garuda systems.
That's
I'm going to
what
go
you're
after
going
go after a different thing after this.
All right. Well, we're basically
we
done
can-
with this, right?
Yeah,
I just
in fact,
wanted to
yeah.
go on real quick and just wrap up the stream because again,
I mean, there was more we could talk about just from that.
Yeah, there's
But
a
the
lot we
key
can
thing
talk
is,
about. There's
the key
fucking
thing to me is, once again, a big name. All you people worship this big name, and once your lies and bullshit are revealed to the big name, they hate you. They're going to keep hating
yeah.
you,
That's the thing
and
about
you're going to blame
Comicsgate.
us, but
As
it's your own fault.
as we were pointing out, Comicsgate only worships status. They reward status only. They don't reward correctness. They don't reward objectivity. They don't reward being unbiased legitimately. They'll take somebody who's biased or just wrong, and then say that they're unbiased when they're not. It's
They're
all
going to keep
about the
blaming.
status and appearance, but
In
none of
fact,
it
I
is
would
about
say
being real about anything. It
new
never has.
catchphrase, a new catchphrase that we should probably take from now on, which is "Don't blame SWC."
Yeah, fucking hashtag blame war campaign. Well, the thing is that,
Blame War Campaign instead.
yes, because they're wrong. The thing is, because they're liars and doxers and stuff. So, yeah, that, like, if you do something that's objectively incorrect, yes, take responsibility. Hashtag take responsibility war campaign. Take responsibility for your actions.
Take
Take control
responsibility.
of your city.
Take responsibility, you stupid gay bitches.
Yes, but also on top of that is that Comicsgate is and always has been a cargo cult, where they think if they say principles, principles, principles enough times, they'll have principles suddenly when they
That
don't.
an airplane will suddenly come down and land on their tiny little island of dipshits.
And it will give them a box of principles which they don't know. Comicsgate has never known what the word principles means, and other comic creators who used to support Comicsgate agree with us about that.
They so don't understand what principles are. They think a plane is going to land and offload a box filled with principles for them to take, and then they will have principles when that happens.
And then anyone who actually has principles, Comicsgate attacks. And that's always been true. Comicsgate attacks and lies about constantly, and especially if you're a Comicsgate and you think, no, that's never happened, you've done it and you're guilty of it. And for that, you should be raped also. Put in a gas chamber, raped in the gas chamber, and then gassed in the gas chamber.
A gas chamber where you get raped. A rape
Yes.
chamber. You might call it a rape chamber, but you'll also be getting gassed. You're going to take the Holocauster into a furnace.
Yes. sort of like in the wonderful classic motion picture Hot Shots Part 2, where fucking President Lloyd Bridges fucking swings on a rope and just flies directly into a fucking giant fireplace.
Punches Ethan Van Sciver in the face so hard he rolls down into the fucking sickbay where the dentist is working, and then just immediately starts doing dentistry.
Just starts
And Ethan Van Sciver,
directly drilling into his teeth.
while
But
asking,
that was-
is it safe?
That was another thing though, is that yeah, Ethan had a fucking like psychotic break today on Twitter where he was saying that Richard canceling the case was in some way Mark Waid's lawyer lying, which it's not. But also then he doubled down on that, and then I think some other idiot. I think it was the guy who blocked me because he falsely accused me of doxing him, which I didn't, of course, and they fucking they died on that hill, as they deserved, of course. Not in no Jesse, not in Minecraft.
Not in Minecraft. In real, this time for real.
This time for real. But he was saying he replied to Mark Waid's lawyer being like, no, that's not what this means. It actually means this, and then just repeated what it actually means. It was like dismissed with extreme prejudice or something, and it's like, that just means that Richard C. Meyer canceled the case. And it's like, yeah, that's what Mark Waid's lawyer said. And instead the guy was like, but that's what it actually, it just means, and it's like, yeah, okay, you lost that one by trying to, see, again, that's Comicsgate. That is Comicsgate right there. That's the sum up of Comicsgate, is speaking with utmost confidence about something that they're objectively wrong about, and then acting like they're representing something correctly when nothing different is being said. Where they're like, dismissed with prejudice just means that Richard threw away the case. And it's like, yes, that is what. But he acts that Comicsgate acts like that the other side was saying something else when they weren't. And so Comicsgate acts like, no, we're the ones telling the truth when they're just restating what the other side had already just said. That's Comicsgate. That's all they do.
Stumble dumb.
Yes.
In retards.
Yes. And the thing is, if they didn't do that, they wouldn't be Comicsgate anymore. It's just like if a socialist understood economics, they wouldn't be a socialist anymore. If Comicsgate understood comics, they wouldn't be Comicsgate anymore. Yeah, I think that about sums it up. Is there anything else?
No, I guess.
I still want to try and figure out how to get embedded chat to stay on the screen, because in order to do it, I have to set up a fucking window ahead of time or something, and then I have to size it every fucking time. And it's just so much of a pain in the ass. You know what's easier? Is just hitting click to go. And there's supposed to be some way to do that, and it doesn't work. If anyone can figure out how to do that in fucking OBS, let me know. But aside from that, I might not fucking have embedded chat. Unless we were... But again... we can do more streams if you donate more money to us on Patreon. And again, we're the only ones telling the truth about Comicsgate. Always have been, always will be. And even your favorite artist or creator of comics agrees with us and not you about that. So there's no fucking denying that. There's no getting away. There's no getting around how we are superior to you. Especially, if you disagree with us, you're only disagreeing with objective truth. So there's no way around that. Anyways, so we have a bunch of videos right now behind the paywall on our Patreon, full of extra videos. Our review of Rags number 7, official review of Rags number 7 went up on our Patreon, but you're going to have to pay far out the ass for that one. Unless you're a friend, unless you know us personally, which I know if I know you. So, anyways,
don't come up to you. All you have to do is ask. But let's also face it: if you think, oh, all I have to do is ask and I'll get it for free, believe me, that's not what it is.
Yeah, that's not how it works. But the way you can get around that easily, no questions asked, donate $5 to our Patreon, and all this bonus. There's going to be more bonus material, more extra, really good stuff going up possibly today. You know what? I think I'll upload something on Christmas. It will be a re-upload, so it won't be new, but technically all the stuff we've been doing is wonderful Christmas gifts to all of you. But yeah, so if you donate, basically the entry is $5. You can donate $1 to us, but you're not going to really get much of anything out of that. But I might still post stuff in the $1 tier, but really if I'm going to do that, I might as well post it for free. And these streams will be free too. So, I still plan to go on Vicky and DA's streams. When they do theirs every Sunday. I at least watch them. I hang out in the chat for those because those are decent. But aside from that, donating to our Patreon is the best way to actually get to guarantee that we'll be doing more videos. If you want us to do more gooder videos, the best way to do that is to donate to us right up front. Anyways, so that's about it. Once again, Shitty Webcomics proven right. But it's not even it wasn't even our observation. It was stuff that other people were very aware of. We were also willing to actually go out there and talk about it in public, which is why our channel is the best for sure. Simply the best, better than all the rest. So enjoy that, and remember, I should have listened to Shitty Webcomics.